We've got 3 adults bumping around in the tiniest kitchen.
Not to mention those 2 dogs and a pair of ghosts.
Ghosts. I bet that's not the scariest thing in that kitchen.
Bacteria, vermin, clutter, and hidden hazards. It's a case for the Kitchen Crimes Unit. They gather evidence, identify suspects, and with $5,000, fix the kitchen to prevent future crime. Kitty shares her house with her boyfriend Cameron, her brother Steve,
Totally open.
2 dogs, and apparently a couple of ghosts who hang out in the kitchen.
It was about 2:30 in the morning, and I hear some rattling going on upstairs in the sink, and there's no one home. Your heart gets pounded. We offered the spirits these pieces of chocolate as a peace offering.
To stop clanking my cupboards. Fruit fly.
Excusez-moi, coming true.
Do you want this pizza pan? If someone was like going to come this way and I opened the fridge, they get knocked out, or the fact that...
The freezer's the knockout one.
Oh yeah, that's right. Why is it so sticky? Maybe that's still dish soap.
Dirty. I know.
There's
I mean, there's no place to put the food when we go grocery shopping. I mean, not like we got lots here, but if you do, there's nowhere to put it.
Biscuit, come here, Pippa, out of the way.
My little pig.
It's a 1-person kitchen. It's just not practical for us 5 and the 2 ghosts.
Regular dish towels.
Being in a kitchen like this and trying to cook over top of people,
Don't use that.
around people, and keep all your fingers,
You're in my corner.
it's kind of tough.
Back off.
So-
Get your own corner.
It's the space issue, it's the turning around issue, it's the dog, it's your feet issue. I guess that's kind of our fault. Yeah, keeping sand in the kitchen is where it breaks down for me.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to just stop killing myself?
Dip it.
Dip
Make sure it
it.
doesn't slide out.
Well, make sure I don't burn myself.
Whoa! Black and white floor, lilac walls.
You mean you've never seen a dead squirrel in somebody's kitchen before? You kidding?
No, it's generally not a design feature. Yikes. This is a problem.
Wow, is this a small kitchen? You know what? Let's get to work.
Let's secure the crime scene.
Okay.
Rob gathers evidence for the lab, while Marina analyzes the kitchen layout and the use of space.
Just around 10 feet.
You're gonna cut food on this? Give me a break. With all those cuts and grooves and everything, that's gonna inhibit any proper sanitation.
I've spied a little fire hazard right here. Heat source and a pressed board for a microwave shelf.
Oh, I see.
Combustible material. Not far enough away from the heat source.
Can you see these tiny windows with the fabric hairs? It's actually gonna trap minute food particles, perfect for bacteria to grow in.
Look at this. This radiator is a real problem. Like, look at this. We've got the garbage can in the corner. We've got these drawers. There's no way.
We've got 6 inches, Marina. She has washed glasses out over here. Why isn't she using the dishwasher? I'm gonna swab the rim of this glass here. I wanna see how efficient her dishwashing actually is.
Right here.
It's heavy.
Yeah, it's super heavy. You see all that grease
Careful.
in there? Yikes! It's just really indicative that there's not enough storage in this kitchen.
But I found a clue in the dishwater.
It looks slimy.
This looks like dog hair in the dishwater, which means the dog was probably on the counter and is getting into the cleanup zone here. Kind of leads me to the idea that nothing on this counter, including the tea towel, is actually sanitary. Fido's not necessarily man's best friend.
Maybe not in the kitchen. That's a good point.
I think there are a lot of things in this kitchen, a lot more ghoulish than just ghosts. And I'm not talking about the dead squirrel in the kitchen.
Let's ask Kitty some of those tough questions.
Yeah.
Next, cameras catch some candid canine no-nos on the counter. The house may be haunted according to the owners, but for the Kitchen Crimes Unit, the scariest place is in the kitchen. Rob suspects millions of germ colonies, while Marina calculates it's all a tight fit.
Hey there!
May I? You had some washed glasses on the counter, and you also had some dishes in the sink, but you guys have a dishwasher. What's going on there?
These two gentlemen throw the dishes in, slam it, and hit play. So it's clogged and not working.
So yeah.
So I'm the dishwasher.
But we cook.
When was the last time you used the oven to cook something?
I use the oven for the pizzas, but I get the little ones, so you know you can't put them in and out.
And all those burn marks on his forearm is from like going in there. I cooked a chicken once and had to pretty much mulch it down into a flat pan to get it in.
What's the story with the dead squirrel in the kitchen? What's going on?
He may be the only stare-off thing in there.
What about the dogs?
They have free range of the house.
Yeah, pretty much.
What's the biggest issue in the kitchen?
Oh, the whole thing.
Space.
Yeah, I was gonna say space.
Normally I like to have things clean, neat and tidy, but I tend to get a little bit lazy sometimes and it builds up and builds up.
Okay, and this actually takes me to the dish rag. How often do you change the dish rag?
Oh.
I don't know.
When it starts to smell.
Do you think there's anything strange living in your kitchen?
The ghost is probably the weirdest thing.
All right, aside from the dead rodent and all the ghosts living in your kitchen, it's going to be quite interesting to see what I find in the lab.
Can't wait to find out.
They're gonna find the most disgusting things ever. I'm so embarrassed.
This is gonna be great though.
You know, I wonder what clues we're going to find from the surveillance footage.
Look at this. He's really just has this little area for prep space. Something that's about the size of a plate. Did you see that?
Oh, sure. Pet the dog, encourage the dog onto the counter where you're going to prepare food. They're trying to dress the dog now on the counter. It's unbelievable. Right beside the sink, we actually got a heterotrophic plate count on the counter of 40 million colonies of germs per gram. That is a huge number. Can you see that worm-like creature in the jar?
Yeah.
That could actually be living in a dog.
No way.
Yeah. Tapeworm, parasites, amongst other things. What a lot of people don't realize is what can be transferred from a dog to a human. And if you're handling the feces, you know, taking the dog for a walk or
Cleaning up after the dog.
exactly, you could transfer all those germs onto your hands and then onto a cutting board or onto some food. You're at risk of getting those parasites, bacteria, and fungi. Now, she was cleaning the dishes with the dish rag, then she was petting the dog. No hand washing involved. Wait till I tell you the number of germ colonies I found on the dish rag. 80 million colonies of germs per gram. Let's add in 540 E. coli. That's the dish rag. I decided to swab the glass, and we found fecal coliform. That's supposed to be a clean glass.
Kitty is going to be shocked, Rob.
I'm shocked.
Look at this microwave shelf. that's ready to go up in flames. A little bit of heat or a quick grease fire and poof, we'd have a fire right there.
Right.
Look at this space. Not an inch to spare. And right next to the fridge, we have the water cooler, all crammed up into that little tiny space. And to cap it all off, we have this radiator that's impeding the full use of that door swing for the oven.
And how can you cook a proper lasagna that way, right?
You can probably cook it, but you can never get it. There's one small overhead cupboard for storage. But we have this huge blank wall just waiting to be used.
It's really hard for me to concentrate because my eyes are fixated on all those dirty dishes that are left in the one sink. We've actually found something quite exotic on their kitchen tap.
Like what?
Look, Claricia adicarboxylata. It's actually found in the lower gut of animals. This is definitely not looking good for the dog. The dog's becoming the #1 suspect.
Dog hair in the sink, collisions at the counter, a fire hazard, and a germ-laced dishcloth that would scare a ghost.
Oh.
Next, Rob tries some shock therapy on the suspects. The Kitchen Crimes Unit is about to move in on Steve, Kitty, Fizgig, Pippa, and Cameron. Guilty of delinquent dishwashing, traffic violations, fire felony, canine counter terror.
I want to introduce you to some of my little friends from the lab.
Oh.
Do you realize you can actually get these things from dogs?
No, I do now.
He likes to be up on the same eye level as I do.
see. You know what? This is a little too much for me to handle. So, doctor, is there a doctor in the house? Oh, welcome.
Oh, no.
This is Dr. Leanne. She's a veterinarian. What's the problem with having dogs in the kitchen?
Well, there's a few things that can go between us and our pets. Those things are called zoonotic diseases. Intestinal worms are just one of them. The eggs from roundworms especially have a very, very sticky outer coating, and they're very hard to clean off of surfaces, which is why the dogs typically get infected with them. And they can get infected by walking on the street, stepping in a little invisible bit of feces, and then they lick their feet because that's how they have their showers, and then they lick their bums because they're dogs, and then they go on the counter where you make your breakfast.
And I've got the results.
Do we want to hear them?
I don't know.
After that speech, I don't know.
Now, your kitchen tap. I even find it hard to pronounce this bacteria that we isolated. Leclercia adicarboxylata. It's actually found in the lower gut of animals. It can actually cause urinary tract infections, diarrhea, neonatal meningitis. It's horrible.
My mom's gonna kill me.
Presenting most amount of germs per gram
What?
on the dish rag.
Yes! That's you! That's you!
Ready to present it?
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's great.
Happy. You guys got to earn that.
Your dish rag alone had 80 million colonies of germs per gram. Not only that, now the cherry on top of the cake is the 540 E. coli I found per gram on the dish rag.
What? Ew.
Give me a match.
Ew.
So I decided to swab one of your glasses that appeared to be clean. We found fecal coliform bacteria.
Oh!
Right. Apparently the washing is absolutely ineffective, and with the dogs on the counter, it's most likely why we're getting these high counts.
And what about that dog kissing?
Yes, very likely source.
All right, buddy. I'll see you later.
You can go too.
Yikes.
Did you guys know you have a fire hazard in your kitchen?
Just one?
You have this flammable, combustible material too close to the heat source.
Thanks, Dad. Thank you.
This It's a huge appliance for a teensy-weensy little
I said
kitchen.
to my mom, let's get a smaller fridge.
And where do you store stuff in this kitchen? Not super crazy about the meat grill that doesn't get cleaned. Da-da-da-da. Wow, is it in the way of opening up those drawers?
What's that?
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Actually, it's good leverage though when I need to climb up here to grab things or to get my pots. And then I've got my fridge to support my other hand.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I have one more question.
Leave Paco alone.
What do you think about Paco, the stuffed squirrel?
Probably he's not a health and safety issue. I'd be more concerned aesthetically. Dust mites would be about the only thing that he probably harbors at this time.
I know what to do with Paco. Don't worry.
Can $5,000 rehabilitate this kitchen to prevent collisions, fire, and bacteria?
Now, you remember what the old tap had?
Something that I can't pronounce.
Leclercia adicarboxylata. We decided to change the whole sink and the taps as well.
Okay, 18 inches high. Right. 12. Rob, you bring yours down. Let's pull your... And look at this.
It goes right to the ceiling.
Hey, Rob,
Yeah.
take a look at this great light fixture.
I can't believe this is actually going in the kitchen. This is fantastic.
Nice. Just, whoa, 2 seconds. Did you plug it in back there, buddy?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
We should probably do that, eh? Yeah.
Okay, we got it.
That's right. I'm gonna cook an omelet in my kitchen tonight.
Next, the crime-free kitchen.
Are you excited? Are you excited?
The house may be haunted, but the kitchen's no longer the scariest room. 80 million colonies of bacteria, a canine collision course, a fire hazard, a dead rodent, and even ghosts are no match for Rob and Marina.
Holy! Oh, my heart is like gonna jump out of my throat.
So nice, so nice. Wow.
Oh,
Look at the chandelier up there.
my God! Storage space, everything's a container. New dish rags.
Oh, that's coming up. We fixed your dishwasher.
Yeah!
Before you start your dishwasher, make sure you run your hot water. Do you want the hot water to actually reach 140 degrees Fahrenheit?
The stove.
The old stove.
All the way.
Then now I can open it stove.
Exactly.
And my mom gets to clean it.
We no longer have a fire hazard. We
Exactly.
have the distance required between the hot element and the cupboard space. Very important in not burning down your house.
Yeah.
Okay? Your kitchen needed a little designer SOS.
Uh-huh.
And what that looks like is scale. We have a new appliance. I know. That's the right scale for your kitchen. Then we're going to talk about organization. So we have your microwave tucked here above your cooking area. But things that you don't use very often are stored up top. Things you're using on a daily basis, up at eye level, easily accessible. Okay?
Yeah.
My mom is gonna like jump up and kiss you both.
What about you? Is this?
I got red lips. You want it?
Let's talk storage, guys.
Look at that storage.
Everything fits, and there's room for expansion. So the designer SOS that your kitchen needed was scale, organization, and storage. SOS. Phenomenal!
Now, who's ready for the exciting part?
Whatever.
How to
I don't know,
get
how to get more exciting.
how to get rid of the bacteria in your kitchen.
Oh, right,
Okay,
right.
yeah.
It's my pleasure to introduce my triple-decker solution. Hand washing, get a good scrub going, okay? Bleach and water, 2 drops of bleach per cup. That's all you need. That's gonna give you the right concentration. And change the dish rag daily, okay, please? All right?
Oh no! Paco!
Well, this kitchen is officially crime-free. Can you help us rip down the crime tape?
Heck yes!
Must be the ghost.
Must be the ghost.